Shatara asked me my favorite scripture. It's Romans chapter 12, verses 1 through 3. It says, I beg of you, by the mercies of God, that you present your body as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. And here it is. Do not be conformed to this world's system. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. When your mind transforms, everything in your life transforms. Everything that happens in your body is a chemical reaction in your brain. You change the chemical reaction in your brain by what you say out of your mouth, your whole life will transform forever. When you get through watching this show, everything in your life is going to transform. Not just change. Change is good. Transformation is better. When a caterpillar transforms into a butterfly, you'll never, ever be a caterpillar again. You're going to transform like you've never seen before.
Hey guys, welcome back to Couch Conversations with Shatara. I am super excited and godly proud to say that we have the awesome, the amazing, the most swagged out, Jordan Wan, Air Force One wearing Bishop in the city. Okay, we have Bishop Lester Love with us, and I'm extremely excited about this whole show. So we have something for you guys, and you better tune in and let's go. Okay? Now we're gonna get straight to it. So Bishop.
So many adjectives.
Because that's what you are.
So many adjectives.
You know, gotta describe you. I gotta do it right.
I
appreciate
that. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate you for coming to the show. And I really just found out exactly who you were. But I realized that everybody in the city is connected to Bishop Love.
Wow.
To the city of Love. And I'm just like, what is going on? Everybody I meet. I'm sitting here with the guy who's running for state representative, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna introduce you to my pastor, Pastor Fran. And I'm like, I know Pastor Fran.
That's our people.
Yeah, I was sitting with Kia.
Oh,
She was like, oh, Bishop. I was like, what is going on?
That's our people.
Yes, everybody that I've been talking to and connecting with is like, oh yeah, Bishop. I'm like, okay, guys.
So this was destined to happen.
It was destined to happen.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about this, and I'm happy and I'm honored, Bishop. Thank you so much for coming and sit on my couch. Thank you so much.
I'm glad to be on the Shatara couch.
Come on the Shatara couch. So we're gonna go straight into it. So I have some questions and things I want to ask you, and the first thing is, what is it like being in full-time ministry?
Well, I've been in full-time ministry for quite some time. My career in life, as it were, started with my father. My father in the furniture company, the Let 'em Have It man. That's my dad.
Okay.
I went from there to the car business. I sold some of your family cars. And from there, I got fired from the car business because in the middle of being in the car business, I got really saved, like for real.
For real.
Yeah, and I got tired of taking advantage of people. So I started volunteering at Greater St. Stephen at the same time Bishop Morton was starting Full Gospel. And so I was getting ready to go back into the car business, and he hired me. I had a job that was going to pay me $100,000 a year. And he offered me 24. And without hesitating, I said yes. And I've been in full-time ever since. And it's a great opportunity to spend your life full-time helping people. That's basically what ministry means. Helping people meet a need. And so it's very fulfilling, very rewarding, gives you an opportunity to see people's lives transform day to day. And it's a lot of fun. I guess like in anything in life, I don't separate work and play.
Okay.
You know, I make them all one. It's all fun to me.
Okay, come on.
It's all play. When you separate work and play, you're really separating yourself. So whatever you do, but you make sure you're having fun doing it so it doesn't feel like work, whether it's ministry or sitting on the couch with you.
Okay, because this is fun.
Right.
How did you know you were called to preach?
Well, I had a feeling, and then I got confirmation. My uncle was my first role model preacher, pastor in Canton, Mississippi, and I called him. And then I called a friend of mine who was in, and then I called Bishop Morton. And I said, look, I feel like I got this calling on my life, what to do with it. And he began to guide me along this path. So it's just, like in anything in life, I know people say you hear from God, but hearing is not really hearing like we think it's hearing, right? We say the word hear, but inside of the word hear is the word ear. So how do you hear through your ear? Your eardrum vibrates. And so the word ear is in the word hear, and the word hear is in the word heart. How do you hear from God? In your heart.
In your heart.
So if it's vibration, it's a feeling that you get. So it's not necessarily that you're hearing many times audible voice, but you get this feeling, this unction, and after that you follow that leading.
That's good. My husband, a good amount of years ago, he said that God called him to preach, and everybody who knew him, he come up from being in drugs and, you know, selling drugs. We come up from partying and doing all the things that, you know, we do. And people ask him all the time, how did he know? So if somebody wanted to know, how do they know if they were called to preach? How do they know? What would you tell them? What would be the advice you would give them to knowing that they were called?
Yeah, well, I think one thing is that you will, in anything in life, if you see yourself doing it first, many times it's an indication that you're called to do it. See, your misery is your ministry. Whatever you are anointed to see, you're called to change.
Come on.
And it may be from a pulpit, it may be behind a camera, it may be behind a styling chair. So whatever you hate to see, many times the reason you can't stand to see it because you're called to help change it.
That's good, Bishop. That's really, really good. What motivates you?
Oh man, lots of stuff. I guess the topic that motivates me is see people's lives transform. And I see somebody go from one area of their life to the next area, in any area, whether it's spiritually, mentally, how they think, in their relationships, how they get along with people, in their physical body. That I see transformation based upon the things that we teach, and of course financially. When you see people's lives transform, that's my greatest motivation. That when somebody gets it, when you teach something, somebody repeats it. When you share something, they say, "Look, I applied this to my life, and it worked."
And it works.
Yeah, so that's the greatest thing. That
Oh my
me.
God, that is amazing. I say that a lot.
Yeah.
Just to see when you know that there's a call on your life and you walk in that calling, and it's not. And I don't want to ever say that money doesn't matter, but on top of purpose, it's just like my greatest joy and the greatest fulfillment that I get is seeing that whatever I did changed your life, or it helped you become a better person.
You're a great motivator. The word motivator means, at the end of the day, means to move. If you can move people into a different direction, motivate, move, and so you're a great motivator.
Yeah.
And evidently, then you must have a story too.
Yes.
Things that you've been through in
Come
your
on.
life, and when you don't mind sharing it and being transparent with people, then you can change people's lives.
Yeah. How do you balance ministry and family?
Balance is good, but if you look at balancing like a scale, balance infers that there's going to be a struggle.
Come on, talk about it.
How
Talk
much
about
I
it,
put on this
Bishop.
side, how much I put on that side. So balance is good, but I like harmony. I like a flow. So I flow. Who I am at church is really who I am at home.
At home.
Who I am at home is who I am at church. So that there's no real challenge. And then Fran is just so easy to get along with. She understands ministry. She allows me to do what I'm called to do without any pushback, no drama. But it all really kind of flows together. I do. I know when to turn it off too. There are times I know how to shut down and turn off. I take a vacation twice a day to get a break from it all. 3 times a day, actually, by the time I take a nap, to reset myself every day.
That's what you call your vacation when you take a break?
Yeah, I take 20 minutes, 2 days, and 2 times in meditation, and then 1 time a nap. I take a vacation every day, a break from it all, the detox from all of this stuff, because you're carrying so much weight. When you minister or preach or teach, you actually have the weight of all the people that you're carrying, that you want to meet those needs, and it can be draining.
Yeah.
Physically, mentally. It can't drain your spiritually, because your spirit never gets tired. Your spirit never gets vexed. I don't know where you get that from, but.
Come on.
But yeah, so you have to just learn how to get away from it and take a real vacation. Like a real one. I mean, 3-4 times a year. You got to get away. You may not be able to go to Italy, but go to Baton Rouge.
Go somewhere.
Yeah, go somewhere. Get a break from it all.
Go somewhere.
And reset.
And so you said that who you are at church is the same person you are at home, right?
Yeah,
So I was going to ask you, being a pastor and being a man, is there a difference in the two? Where how when you up there on the pulpit, you like Samson, you can walk through.
Yeah,
but then when you got to come down and you go home and you're the husband and you're the father,
Yeah.
is there a difference, or how do you?
Yeah, I guess the difference is based upon the level of the expectation of the people that you normally minister to. The expectation is going to be a little bit higher. If I get caught doing something crazy, then people are going to look at me differently.
Yeah.
Than other people. I don't know if they should or they shouldn't. And I say get caught because we all do something, right?
Come on.
Right.
That's right.
We all got something we don't want to appear on CNN. Regardless of how saved you are, but the responsibility of other people looking up to you. You have to just be mindful, but we have to remind people that I may look like Superman up there, but I'm Clark Kent. I bleed, I hurt, I get angry, I get frustrated, and we do our best to mask it. But we're real people at the end of the day. I'm just a guy.
Yeah.
Nothing special about me than it is anybody else.
Mm-hmm. That's good. I need you to help me out, Bishop.
Mm-hmm.
So, I am a woman that has a husband that's in ministry,
Mm-hmm.
but I also have my own ministry that may not be in the church or behind the pulpit, but in the world.
Mm-hmm.
How can you help me out and any other woman that's dealing with a man that's in ministry that has some type of, help us out, help me out for sure. I need help, Pastor.
What do you need help with specifically?
So, me following my dream or my calling,
Mm-hmm.
all while he's doing, ministry or being on side of him in ministry or being, making sure that he's doing what he needs to do in ministry or, just having that, because I'm not going to say that we're separate, but his call is in the church and mine is outside.
Yeah, I think in any marriage, first of all, both people have to be allowed to be individuals.
Okay.
Both people have to be allowed to be individuals. Both people need their space. Both people need to allow the other person to manifest who they are. I have a ministry. My friend does too. And I help her with hers just like she helps me with mine.
Mm-hmm.
Because we do two different things. Like Fridays with Fran is great, but it's not church.
Come on.
And I stand behind her, I support her. We bounce off of each other. But you have to allow people to be individuals, and there's really no separation. When you get married, the two become one, so there's no separation. But at the same time, I support Fran as much as she supports me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if the problem is as much yours, or is it the traditional way that we normally do church, that the wife would just sit down on the second row or the first row with a hat on and just be quiet. But I think it's a different day now. I think women, especially now in the Me Too movement, we're really coming alive to the fact that women are individuals, not just the first lady or the pastor's wife or the CEO's wife. She's an individual calling on her life too. Hillary fell on the sword for a lot of women to be able to get pushed to that level. She didn't cross all over the threshold, but I think she opened up door for opportunity for a lot of women to evolve into who they are always meant to be.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you for that, Bishop, because I know it's something that is a struggle for me, and I know there's other women out there.
Why is it a struggle for you?
Because I want to always have my husband feel that, he can fully walk in his calling, if I'm right there or not. Because I feel like I can still walk in my calling, whether he's right on side of me or not, because I know that the support is there. I know that the love is there. I know that he's there behind the scenes. When nobody can see it, he's there making sure that everything can function and flow so that I can do what it is that I'm called to do, and then vice versa for me.
So why are you expecting him to do the same thing that you do when you're an individual, though? You're expecting him, you said, I can do it, why can't he? And I understand the concept, but he may need you a little bit more in certain areas than you need him, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's okay. It is.
I don't know if you believe it yet. Pardon my allergies, everybody. I never have allergies. I never get sick at all. I'm not sick at all. I've had allergies all my life because I ate too much dairy. So much so that one time somebody thought I was on drugs, thought I was on cocaine.
Really?
Yeah, I never did cocaine. I did some stuff, but I never did cocaine.
Never cocaine.
So to all the people, I'm not sick. Thank you for praying for me, but I just got a little allergy. So I got my black towel to wipe my nose, so don't judge me.
Don't judge Bishop.
Don't judge me.
Don't judge him. So Bishop,
Yeah.
I read this story one time, and it's called "How the First Lady Can Help or Harm the Church." By D.D. Freeman and Pastor Mike Freeman.
Oh yes, my friends.
Really, that's your friends?
Yeah.
And so I read the story, and there was so much in that book that
Yeah.
identified with me before I even got to where I am now and the things that I'm doing now. Like, I've always known that I had a calling for women. I had a purpose for that. You know, I've always known that.
You can see it.
And when I read it, it was saying different stuff about how she would have women come to the church, and like she would bring them in the office, and she would like literally do a whole makeover of them, hair, makeup, clothes, like, and they would go out a whole new woman. And all of that resided with me. But then she said something about Pastor Mike was the Bible study pastor at the church. It was his dad's church. He was a Bible study pastor. But he would be at church laying hands on everybody and praying for everybody. But when he got home, he wasn't laying hands and praying for her. And so she got jealous. And she stopped going to church.
Yeah.
She stopped going to Bible study. She stopped doing all of those different things. And so after I read it, I was like, wow, you know, I can see how this can be, because that was one time when he was in church and my husband was in church, he was doing all those different things, and I was like, well, all these time is in church, you know, this, that, and you know, it kind of made me feel a certain kind of way. And I can say that it but it was a level of immaturity.
Yes.
You know, but I just want to know, like, was that ever a situation with you, you know, growing into ministry?
Time. Oh, big time. Pastor D wrote a book called Help My Husband Has Two Wives.
Okay.
Me and the ministry.
The church, the ministry.
And sometimes it's our fault. Sometimes it's our fault. You know, we can be kind and patient and loving to some of the most evil, meanest people in the world, and go home and you say something crazy, we go off on you.
Yeah.
You know? And sometimes it's our fault because we don't do well as husbands separating the two, or being as much of a listener to my wife as I would one of the partners of our church. And so it takes growth on both sides to understand. I've had challenges when we were in ministry at Greater St. Stephen, that I'd be inside in a meeting and running here and running there, and Pastor Fran would be outside in the car with two babies by herself. I was insensitive. You know, I could have went and got her home, got somebody to get her home, but I was so involved and locked into what I was doing, I ignored her a lot. And she endured it a lot. And if you're not careful, it'll make the wife resent the church. I can't stand none of them, you know. But you know, thank God I got a good wife, and we kind of worked through it. But it was on both sides. Both people need to grow up and mature in this together to get a full understanding of where you're going.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I don't want to just say it's the husband's fault, because it can be the wife's fault too. And like I said, I'm not in ministry, but I give so much to the sisterhood. You're right, I am in ministry. Yeah. I give so much to the sisterhood. I give so much to couch conversations. I give so much to, you know, all the different things that I'm doing. And I may be insensitive to the fact that, well, okay, it's time to come home now. You home? Well, put the phone down and let it be about us, you know.
Yeah.
So just, like you say, it's not really a balance, it's a harmony. So just figuring out the harmony of...
That one thing we worked out was that phone. We worked out the phone. Most in general, when I walk through the door, I get off the phone.
Really?
Yeah. When I get home, I'm very seldom on the phone when I get home. Now I'm working because I have a lot of work to do. And most of my work is spiritual, reading, meditating, the things that I do. But most in general, when I'm at home, I do my best not to be on the phone. And my wife taught our girls, and they all grown now, but when I came home, they stopped everything. Daddy's home. You know? Especially now because they're buried in these phones. That's honor, right? And so we both help each other like that.
That's good. Pastor, is there a such thing as church protocol?
Oh, yeah. God teach it.
And so, and you say God teach it or you teach it?
I teach it.
You teach it. And so, as in what? Like, you know, because I know there's certain churches where it's like, okay, well, you can't go visit another church unless you talk to the pastor first. Unless you say, okay, look, Bishop, I want to go over and fellowship with them, you know, and then you're like, okay, well, yes or no. But then some people think, well, is the pastor in control? Like, what kind of, you know, break that down for us so people can understand a little better.
You know, it's different strokes for different folks. I grew up in that era too. And even if you left the church, you had to write a letter. You know? If you left this church and went to another, you had to write a letter. It is just different strokes to different folks. I'm not sure if it's right or wrong. But at the end of the day, in anything in life, grown people do what they want.
That's a fact.
You know, I do it. At the end of the day, I do what I want.
Uh-huh.
You can bless me if you want or curse me if you want, but I'm gonna do what I want to do when I want to do it. But if I'm in a church, then I do my best to follow the church. They would call it polity, church rules, dogma of the church. But at the end of the day, everybody got to be led. If somebody comes to the City of Love and they feel like they want to go somewhere else, you go follow God.
Mm-hmm.
You do what God told you to do.
Mm-hmm.
You go, because at the end of the day, if some, because people quit you long before they leave you.
Yeah, that's a fact.
In relationships and everything, he been quit.
Just stayed there.
He been quit.
Mm-hmm.
So if you feel led to do what you have to do, go follow God.
Mm-hmm.
I've had people in my ministry to leave. One in particular that comes to mind is, this is one of our most wealthy members when I first got started. And if they would give $10,000, they'd like save me for the year,
Mm-hmm.
And I saw them weaning away, and I was running behind them, checking on how you doing, haven't seen you, doing what I thought I should do as a pastor. And then one day God said, who's your source, me or them?
Gotcha.
So I let them go.
Mm-hmm.
And I let them go. That next Sunday was the first Sunday 50 people joined. And then 30 people joined. And then 50 people joined.
Wow.
They could have been blocking up my whole flow.
Mm-hmm.
So I let people do. If somebody comes to me and say, God said to leave, who am I to debate that?
To stop them. Mm-hmm.
God said it?
And so even if they want to, even if they're still a member, but they want to just go visit another church, or just say somebody invited them, or a friend of them invited them to another church, do you require them to ask? Because I've heard pastors say, you got to be careful the table you eat on, different things like that.
And I agree with that. But if you feel led to go visit, then you go visit. It's like a relationship. I'm gonna make it very hard for Fran to go find another man.
Come on.
It's gonna be very challenging in every single solitary way to come behind me.
Come on.
So if you feel like you led to go ahead and go check it out, you go right ahead. You go right ahead. But most people, we get the reverse of it. When they go visit somebody else's church, they run back saying, I don't know how long, They go visit their old church.
Mm-hmm.
They come run back saying, I don't know why I stayed in it that long. Like when you go to a funeral of the church that you left, and you say, man, I didn't even know I was in bondage.
Yeah.
So if you feel led to go visit, I get it all the time. But required, I'm not saying it's wrong, it just don't work for me.
Okay. And so what protocol, what's church, so when you're thinking about church protocol, it varies from church to church. There's no specific census of how this is how church protocol goes.
No, it's just normally based upon the leader's personality, their openness, their effectiveness. So it's all different depending upon where you go. I don't know if it's a right or wrong. Everybody does what they want to do. But where you go, and then, I stay there as long as I can hear from God through this person. That's the main reason. Who I don't get along with, they didn't let me sing a solo, all of that stuff. None of that matters. Can I hear from God and this person has transformed my life? As long as I can do that, I can fight through the rest of the foolishness. Yeah.
In this day and age, I know back then, they used to have armor bearers. You saw the armor bearer carrying the pastor stuff, and you saw it with the first lady. Is that still prevalent now? Is that
Not as much. I wrote the book on it. I have a book. The art of armor bearing. That's what I did for years for Bishop Morton. I was the armor bearer, but I created a lot of the systems that they have in churches right now of how it's done. But one day it transformed for me, and I'll never forget this as long as I live. I'm in the back, getting ready to go out to ministry, and I've got some female armor bearers, some male armor bearers, and we all getting ready to go out. My lead armor bearer is a woman. All right. And of course, there's certain restrictions and the like. She's not going into wrestling and all that. But, I'm getting ready to go out, and it was going to be my lead armor bearer. Then one of my spiritual daughters came in, Alexis. She lives in Atlanta. She came in to visit, and she hi, Bishop, blah, 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 and get ready to go out. Now, Alexis is a supermodel. She's my daughter, but she's like a real supermodel, like 6'2" supermodel. And I'm getting ready to walk out with Vonda, Alexis, and all that, and it dawned on me. I said, wait a minute. What does that look like to the person who don't go to church? To the person who don't go to church, let's just say there's a guy sitting in the audience his girlfriend and finally made him come to church. So she ironed out his t-shirt and jeans and they came to church. And I walk out there and he gonna tell her, oh boy, I got an entourage, huh? You know what I'm saying? So I said, you know what? Y'all go ahead. I can survive by myself 5 minutes. I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna live. All right? So I go to Joel Osteen's one Sunday. Joel Osteen walked out by himself. I said, you know what?
I'm by myself.
I'm by myself. And I go out early to hang out with people, you know? Dap them up, kiss them, shake hands, talk to them in the beginning. But sometimes I think we take things like way too far for the person who doesn't go to church. I understand it. You understand it. But, you know, I don't need nobody. This is just me. I don't need nobody wiping my head.
Come on.
I can wipe.
You can wipe your...
You know, I don't need anybody. If I got to go to the bathroom, Doc, I need you to stay back. I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
I got it.
I got it. I've been handling this for 50 years, right? Don't worry about it, right? Yeah, and I'm going to close the door behind me. So, yeah, sometimes I think we go too far in church if we are interested in ministering to people that don't understand church politics and protocol and who's the armor bearer and, you know, I carry the Bible. I just do that. I carry the Bible.
You carry.
I did all that. Laid it all out, boom, 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 and you never saw me. But if we're interested in ministering to the people that don't go to church, you might want to take a look at that.
Take a look at that. That's a good thing. I like that. Bishop, how did you become the people's champ? Like, what is going on here?
I'm the people's champ?
Yes, like everybody. So you have people in your church from the likes of Jessica Dupart, a.k.a. the real BB Judy. Like, she is all over the city, you know. You have Mo, he's a trainer. He's your trainer. He's a celebrity trainer. He trains celebrities. By the way, Mo is going to be on the couch next week.
Oh, it's going to be a great interview, too.
I can't wait for that.
It's going to be great.
You know what I'm saying? You have Siobhan and Antoine Landry. You have all of these different people. How? Like, where did this come from? I mean, how did you know to come to Bishop Love?
To simplify it, I'm a Christian because my parents were Christians. I stayed a Christian because I like Jesus.
Come on.
I like the model, okay? And the Bible says that the common man heard him gladly. The common man heard him gladly. He was able to reach everybody. We got judges, senators, and we got people, you know, who
Rob McKnight.
Yeah, we got Rob McKnight running for office, people who own business, and also I treat them no different than the guy that cleans the room at the Hilton. I mean, we all everyday people. I really do love people, like for real, not just the benefits of what people can do for me. You know, I really do love people and the welfare of people and how we can help them get to the next level, and you know that word begins to spread. That word begins. I just want to help people. I don't even remember how Jessica, and I met, but the word says, you know, people pick up the energy of your thoughts.
Yes.
You ain't got to say nothing. People just kind of feel, they may not be able to discern it, but, you know, especially because women are way more discerning than men. Y'all can hug somebody and be like, ugh. You know,
you felt that.
You walk into and people pick up whether or not you're genuine, regardless of what you're saying. You know, you can have flowery words and, you know, be articulate and all that, but at the end of the day, people can feel you.
Yeah.
You know, they can feel whether or not you're genuine. And I just like being real with people. I've never been good at lying.
Come on.
I'm a lot of stuff, but I'm not a liar.
Not a liar.
No. It's just who I am is who I am. And you know, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I just want to help my people get to the next level. And evidently, the reason they come back, because they feel like what we're teaching is helping. You know, I'm a preacher by trade, but I'm a teacher by nature. And the Bible is just a manual for how to live your life. How to live your life, not how to do church.
Yeah, that is a fact. That's a fact. So you have a host of business owners in your church, and you guys highlighted a lot.
Oh yeah.
So, because I see other churches that don't. They don't welcome the business owners. Not to say they don't welcome them, but they don't put them, you know, in the front of the world to say that, you know what, these are our business owners of our church and, you know, all of these different things. Like, what make you do that? Why do you make it your business? Because I know when we were at Fridays with Fran, every time Pastor Fran says something about being fit, she said, okay, fit with Britt.
Right.
When she said something about sweets, she was like, be sweets. You know, y'all have people for everything. And when you say it, you guys are real big on promoting your businesses. And, you know, so... And for me, I'm just like, it makes sense because first of all, they go to your church. Not to say that it is about money, but every dollar they make, if they're doing it right, we're tithing on it, so why
Right.
not promote your
Right.
business owners?
I'd rather be a kingmaker than to be a king.
Come on.
Right?
I don't think they heard you.
I'd rather be a kingmaker than to be a king. I want to see our people blessed. And we talk about money normally from the other perspective of what it's going to do for me. Mm-hmm. And I get the 10%. I teach that too. I teach 1% too, all right? But I want to help our people get to the next level. I want to see them blessed. The word blessed at the end of the day means happy. I want to see them happy. Mm-hmm. Their home is happy. And the Bible said money answers all things. All things. I ask my people 2 questions probably every week. Number 1, how many of you would like to have no money concerns? All right? Number 2, how many of you would like to do what you love and get paid very well for it? There's nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. To do what I love and get paid very well for it. Now, whether you're a tither or a giver or whatever, at the end of the day, it's all going to come out. But I want our people to be blessed in what they do, prosper. Somebody asked me, am I a prosperity preacher? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But I teach from a fivefold perspective. I believe in spiritual prosperity, mental prosperity, relationship prosperity, physical prosperity, and financial prosperity. Because what's the use of having money and you can't get along with nobody?
Come on.
All right? Mm-hmm. What's the use of having a nice, fit body and you broke? I want to see all of our businesses get to the next level. We highlight our business. We have something we call Boss Network, Business Owners Serving Our Savior. Mm-hmm. And what we do, we tell them, just give our people one shot.
Yeah.
Now, if they mess up, it's on them.
It's on them.
But most major businesses, like you see right now, Jeff Bezos and Amazon and Apple, they start in the garage.
Yeah, they start in the garage.
In the garage.
Mm-hmm.
You follow me? And so maybe we may have the next Jeff Bezos with Amazon or Steve Jobs, in the church.
In the church.
Yeah, when you get blessed, just remember God.
Remember love.
Remember God.
But it's really good to see that. It's very motivating to see that. Mo can have, him and Britt, they can have the church and they're having a workout exercise on a Saturday. That's really good to see that type of stuff.
And we give it to them for free. Mm-hmm. Give it to them. They needed a space. They hadn't moved to their campus yet. Do it by us. Mm-hmm. I always wanted to do a Saturday workout anyway. And we tried to pull it together, say, let you do it, I'll work out with y'all.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing, Bishop. What is or what was your struggles in ministry?
Jeez, where do I start, right? My major struggle was, I thought I knew how to deal with people till I got involved in church. Because I'm like most people that think of the people that's on stage as just so wonderful, so nice, and so sweet, and and then when I got involved in ministry, I found out that some of those people were like the meanest people I ever saw in my life, and I didn't know how to deal with them. I got a boy. I wouldn't even call names. I ain't gonna call nobody.
Okay, he's really trying to spill tea with us. Okay.
One particular incident, me and this person couldn't get along for nothing, and I tried everything. I tried fussing with him, and that didn't work. I tried ratting on him, and that didn't work. I tried to get him in trouble, that didn't work. Nothing worked. I tried ignoring him, but I had to see him every week. And I'd come to church saying, looking at them up, lifting their hands. I say, why that witch lifting her hands up? She's a demon, But then the last thing I tried worked, and that was I quit trying to change her, and I changed me.
Change yourself.
If somebody is just frustrating the life out of you, and you can't stand them, and they a demon and all of that, that's really not about them. That's something in you have not worked out yet.
Come on.
And what's going to happen, until you learn how to work that out, we grew up in church saying God will never fail you, which they kind of meant he'll never leave you, and I get that, but also means he won't let you fail the test. He just keep giving it to you.
Giving it to you, yeah.
So he'll just give you the same person in different skin. Here they go, and until you learn how to deal with them, I'm going to keep sending them to you, because that's something in you need to work out.
Help us out,
So
Bishop.
my biggest problem was I didn't know how to deal with people that wasn't like me.
Like you.
They didn't. I just, and I used to, try everything. But when I changed, the very person that came against me ended up joining our church.
God funny like that.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
He does that. You know what some people will say? God know how to make your enemy your footstool. Or, they'll go into that. We go and get real spiritual on them.
Put your foot on people and all that, man. Ain't nobody your ottoman. Put your foot down, man.
We get spiritual on them. God gonna make my enemies my footstool.
The best way to change your enemy is make them a friend.
Make them a friend. So you don't believe in it having enemies? So that's just like, so all your enemies are, there's no enemy, there's friend.
My greatest enemy is the enemy.
And you within?
That's my greatest enemy. My greatest enemy is what I'm dealing with. Like, I may have people that don't like me, but I don't have time not to like nobody, not to love anybody. I ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
There's nobody in my life I just can't stand you.
Yeah.
I just rather not be bothered with you. I'd rather just ignore you.
Yeah. Takes too much energy anyway.
Yeah. I ain't got but 100%.
Yeah.
Ain't no 110%. 110% is burnout.
Yeah.
If that light burns at 110%, it's going out. 100% is all I got.
That's all you got.
So I can't be plugging into, some issue that you have.
That's good, Bishop. That's real good. So if you had the opportunity to quit ministry, would you? And why?
No, I am ministry.
You are ministry?
Yeah. I mean, one day I'm not going to pastor, but I'm always going to help people. I'm always going to bless people. I got a lot to give. I'm a resource center for people to get help. So I ain't gonna never quit ministry. I'm not gonna be 80 years old in the pulpit either.
In the pulpit.
Forgetting what I preached the week before and all preaching the same thing. But eventually I'm gonna go maybe teach in our school, go in there and wave. Y'all bless me when I get there. That go, that go Papa love. But I'll never quit ministry because ministry is who I am.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's real good. For people who thinking about how to use that sense of, I don't do ministry anymore. No, ministry is you. You are ministry.
But they hurt, and they hurt, and you can get so hurt in anything, but you can really get hurt in church because it's supposed to be the apex of feelings and emotions is released when you give God praise and you get so open. But the level of expectation sometimes is too high.
Too high.
If you lower your expectation of people, your feelings won't get hurt.
Come on, Bishop.
Don't expect this much.
Now since you said that, we had a letter come in. I was going to save this till later, but we had a letter come in that was similar to what you just said about being church hurt.
Yeah.
So I asked some people to, told them you were coming on the show.
Yeah, fun. Yeah.
And if they had any questions, topics, if they had anything they wanted to ask you, and we had a few letters came in, and so we chose this one. So I'm going to read the letter, and I'll let you, answer it.
Got it.
So it says, Bishop Love, I must ask, how does one come back from church hurt? At the time, I was a newly Christian. I just had accepted Christ in my life. I was on fire for the Lord and could not wait to spend the rest of my life serving and following Christ. I was a member of a local church and recently became church hurt by the cliques in church.
Yeah.
Things were happening like maybe I didn't pray as good as others, or maybe I couldn't always lead, but I wanted to learn how so badly. There were members to whom I looked up to and wanted to be just like them, even though they've messed up too and had bad habits, but I wanted to learn how to serve God just like they did. Well, after I had enough of criticizing, making fun of me, and then the gossip and rumors, I wanted to quit because I thought this isn't godly. These church folks act worse than unsaved folks. I thought about what to do and decided to go to the leadership of the church. After expressing myself and trusting the leadership, I became disappointed with them as well because I felt they failed me. It made me feel reluctant to re-engage because I felt they were protecting each other and because I wasn't a part of an auxiliary in the church, or my Christian walk was not as long as theirs. I felt like to them I didn't matter. I started questioning the place of church in their lives. Then I just decided not to go back. I have been visiting different churches here and there, but before I decide where I will settle down to serve God, what do you do when you experience church hurt? What should my response to that be? How do I move on after the hurt? How do I avoid this hurt again? Thank you, Anonymous.
Yeah, it's painful to be hurt in church. I've been there. You get so disillusioned, because you had this picture of what it was going to be, and you get behind the scenes and find out it's not all of that. That's what the whole book of First and Second Corinthians is all about. About a bunch of messy church people. And then Paul, right in the middle of it, writes 1 Corinthians 13 and starts to say, you know what? Just teach her how to love. Lil Wayne, teach her how to love. Teach us how to love. You know what I'm saying? And it just takes time for that wound to heal. And it will heal because she's on the right track, looking for somewhere else to go. You're not going to fit everywhere. You're not going to fit everywhere forever. But we have to begin to look at church, yes, as a spiritual experience, but also school. I am learning the things of the Spirit when I go to church. Like when I go to a university, I'm learning from my teacher on how to master or get a doctorate in a subject. So when you go to church, it's singing. I love singing. It's dancing. I love that. All the things that we do in church. But at the end of the day, I'm learning spiritual principles of how to get my life, and and make it hurt along the process. But I can tell you here when it don't hurt no more.
Yeah.
All right. I got a scar on my finger. Played football in high school, and the guy cut my finger. And when you first reached at it, I pulled my hand back. But now it's completely healed. The scars are there's a reminder of what I've been through, because I don't believe in forgive and forget. I believe in forgive and treat you like I forgot. But the scars are always there as a reminder, but it doesn't hurt anymore. And the beauty of the things of God is, like in your body, if you break a bone, when God finally heals it, the bone is stronger than it was before the break.
Oh.
Right?
Okay.
So whatever you go through in your life,
it makes you stronger.
You get broken, but when it finally heals, the doctor doesn't heal you. The doctor sets the bone, you know. But God is the one that does the healing. And when we decide to move on and like forgive people, now forgiveness don't mean reconciliation.
Okay.
It don't mean we going to lunch no more. It means I just release you, out of my heart, and I quit wishing that the devil would, I quit wishing God would kill you. Right?
Or take control.
That's what David said. David said, God, kill my enemies. You right? Kill them. But it takes some time, and she's on the right path. But again, at the end of the day, and we all make mistakes. We all get aligned with the wrong different people, the wrong kind of people for us. You'll find a place. And just like any relationship, don't blame the new place for the old place.
Come on.
Don't blame the new boyfriend for what he did. All right? Anytime he does something that remotely reminds you where you came from, like, I saw that already. I'm not the same guy though. So I'm not the same church. Whatever church you decide to go to, that could be one of my people.
That could be.
It could be one of the people that's in the city that went to my church. But at the end of the day, as a shepherd, I want all the sheep healed. I want all the sheep strong and being able to manage. But sheep are no good by themselves. They're no good by themselves.
Yeah.
We are compared to sheep. Sheep are no good. They'll wander off. If they go out there and start eating grass, they get full and they turn over, and now they can't get back on their feet again, and they die because they're out there by themselves. Every sheep needs a shepherd, a teacher, to help them so they can live.
Yeah. Did you sense any offense in that?
Oh, big time. Oh, big time.
Because offense is the atmosphere. The offense is in the atmosphere like crazy in this season, and
Well, it starts at the top. We got a very offensive president. Very offensive. It's his personality. Okay, and he's not going to change. He's 70. So whatever happens at the top trickles down. It's about a lot of. So it's amazing to me. Sometimes the meanest people are the easiest to be offended. You're so mean. You're so hateful. But she is offended, and she'll get past it. She'll grow.
Yeah.
You'll get to the place where certain things that used to bother you, you'll laugh at them. Yeah.
And so what could you tell people who are maybe sitting in offense? I made a video the other day. I felt like I was prompted by the Holy Spirit just to say, and because I just came from the conference, and then one of the things that they said at the conference was that people are so offended, and there's ministries, and there's family members, and there's friends, and there's business partners or employers that made us mad, and we got offended with them, and we never went back. Or maybe we were purposed to be with them, or maybe that was an assignment, but we never got it fulfilled because we were in offense. But to turn back and go apologize and fix that offense, and just to heal you, because offense, it takes so much out of you. It's so much energy to be offended. Oh my goodness. So what could you tell the people if someone's out there and they're sitting in offense, and they may know it, some of them know it.
Right.
And some people don't know it.
Right.
So how can you help somebody out that's offended, Bishop?
I got a situation right now. Two major leaders, if I mention any one of their names on this show right now, you know exactly who they are. And you would think that at the level they're on, the top ministry and all of this, that they would walk in this, and they're walking in such offense. It's just they're so hurt. And we haven't learned the art of letting it go. Just let it go. Just, the best way for something to die, just quit talking about it.
Yeah.
just quit going back over what you did to me and how you made me feel and all of that. First of all feelings are a decision. You decided to feel that way.
Yeah.
Okay? But learn how to just say, you know what? I'm done with that. I'm moving on. Because I can't drive my car forward looking at the rearview mirror.
Yeah.
You know, I may have an accident.
Yeah.
But we haven't learned the art, and it takes time.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a willingness, first of all. Willingness to say, you know what? You know, maybe it's something I did. You know, it's everybody, didn't you?
Yeah.
if you got 10 people in the group and 9 of them don't like you,
it's you.
You need enough help. You've been married 5 times? You've been married 5 times. And they all were wicked? No.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so it takes time. It takes an open heart to say, you know what? Maybe it's something I did. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's something and if there's an issue, you played a part in it some kind of way. You're not completely innocent.
Innocent, right.
You know, and it takes time and the willingness to want to do it.
Yeah, that's good. So I hear people say all the time, church folk is the most judgmental, or church folks is they the ones that hate people the most. They wicked in the church and all of that. How can we put a into that stigma? You know, what's your take on that?
To tell church folks to stop being so judgmental, because we are.
Okay.
Okay, we are. Once we reach a certain level, then, you know, you can't burn down the school because you graduated from the class. Mm-hmm. Right? Let it give us a chance to grow.
Yeah.
One of the reasons that we do ministry the way that we do it is because I grew up in church. I said, you know, if I ever pastor a church, I will not judge people, regardless of what the issue is, because I got struggles too. I don't want you to follow me home and follow, you know. Everybody got something. And so church people, for the most part, we do have a tendency to be very judgmental and very hard on people until you get caught. Now you want mercy.
Now you want the mercy. Now you want it.
I'm merciful because I need mercy.
Yeah.
I need mercy. You know, the difference between grace and mercy is grace is the unmerited favor of God, needed but not deserved. Mm-hmm. But mercy is when you don't get what you do deserve.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All of us are one person away from being HIV positive. All of us are one person away from being overdosed. All of us one thing away from losing it all.
Yes.
So I think we need to tell the church, teach the church people, stop being so hard on people.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all stop all of that. Man, you quit acting like you ain't the same person. You did it too. You just didn't get caught.
Come on, tell them.
Yeah, you just didn't call it. Okay, other person, I can't believe it. It's like Tiger Woods, you know what I'm saying? Tiger Woods is Solomon in the Bible. Mm-hmm. Why you gonna judge Tiger when Solomon did this? You celebrate Solomon. Mm-hmm. R. Kelly is David. Same guy.
Same guy.
It's the same spirit. Because when David when David had sex with Bathsheba, he was 50, she was 15.
Come on.
She was 15. It was legal back then. Mm-hmm. And we celebrate David. But just stop being so judgmental. But let God deal with people. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe that's why you the people's church.
The people's
Maybe
church.
That's what it is. You know, you said something when I was on your radio show. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh,
I really, really, really appreciate it.
Spirit.
I can't wait to come back so I can make sure we light it on fire again.
Yeah, we're going to do it again.
But, okay, so you said on that show that if you're not having fun at church, you need to find you a new church.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, church got to be fun.
Church got to be fun.
Yeah. I wanna laugh at church. I wanna get some good music. I wanna get some good teaching, and we're gonna hang out afterwards. You know, and this is just, and everybody again is different. And I'm not casting aspersions on anybody else what they do. Mm-hmm. Everybody got their own way of doing it, but I believe, I think church should be like the bar on Friends. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We just come out there and chill.
Chill.
Yeah. When everybody knows your name. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think church should be. And at the end of the day, though, raise people's awareness of the God that is already in them.
Yeah.
It's about awareness. It's lifting people's sensitivity and teaching people to think. Because in church, what we did, sometimes we just anoint it better. We taught people, here's a problem, we just praise the Lord. Mm-hmm. But then when that feeling and that euphoria of the praise wears off, if you didn't give people an answer, they're going to be right back down to the problem. You know what I'm saying?
That's for sure.
So, I think church ought to be a blast, man. Good music. The lyrics are more important than the beat.
So, that you said that, I saw you on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I saw you. Now it was a long time ago, and you were singing some of the Alicia Keys and that old school,
Always
mom and
forever.
daddy music. Yeah. And I was like, wait, what Bishop singing in church?
Yeah.
Instantly, that's where my mind went because of what we know church is supposed to be like. But as you sung, and I was like, wait, hold up. Okay, I see what he did there.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know what I'm talking about, maybe you can hit a little lyric for him, Bishop. Hit a little lyric for him.
Oh, Lord. It all depends on who you're singing to.
Uh-huh.
Right? I can be singing to my wife, or I can be singing to God.
To God.
Always and forever, each moment with you. It's just like a dream to me that somehow came through. It's the lyrics. It's the lyrics. It's not the beat. Just recently, for instance, this is New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
And so we dance and everything in New Orleans. So why we can't second line in church? Why? No. And first of all, if you put anybody on this for the second line, it look like shouting.
Yes. Look like they dancing down.
It look like shouting. Right? And we don't know how they dance in the Bible. David danced his clothes off. No. See, you ain't never been to. I grew up in parties like that. House parties, when it get hot and the guy dance and he take his shirt off. That's the kind of party church needs to be. That's a party right there.
Come on.
That's a party right there. Now he wasn't vulgar. He wasn't having. He wasn't supposed to. But he did, man. Come on. But see, church got boring and long, and you're in there all day, and you're judging people, and non-empowering, and it's always about a hater. It's always never about you. But this clown sitting next to me, right?
Oh yeah, come on, Bishop.
It's easy to get a shout on a hater. But when I start saying this, what you need to do. Try this right here, from a positive perspective. Let's try this right here. Ain't worried about no hater.
Yeah.
About you.
It's about you.
Yeah.
That was good though, y'all. Y'all need to check that YouTube out with Bishop. I mean, he went in. I mean,
that's before they was paying people on YouTube. I did mine hit before they started paying people for being on YouTube. Yeah, I need some residual money back.
You need that
I got
huh?
like 4 million views. Yeah, I need some money. My boy, YouTube. Hook your boy up, Google.
Hook Bishop up.
Yeah.
Bishop, do you believe in blending with the world? Because I know you said sometimes about, not being judgmental and allowing people to be who they are and, different things of that sort. But like I said, once again, coming from church, like even with me, like, how I'm knowing, okay, the Bible says to come out from among thee and be ye separated, said the Lord, So it's like, okay, am I blending with the church? Am I blending with the world? Like, what's your take on that?
Again, I just follow Jesus. Jesus hung out with the whores and the wine bibbers. Peter cussed, out there cutting people's ears off. He hung out with all of them. That's why he won them. For me to help you, I have to become you and understand you. And I'm not trying to make you me.
Yeah.
I just want you to be the best you who you are. Come from among them. Paul had a little attitude. He was always, he was kind of rough. Paul got a little rough on people because sometimes Paul, because he wasn't Jesus, he forgot who he used to be. All right? So sometimes you have to read this in context. Like when he said, women don't talk in the church. Now we took that to say women sit down.
Yeah.
But the women were actually talking in church. What that mean? That Paul said, shush all that. Let me finish teaching, asking that at home. Right? So we got to look at the context of what was going on at that particular time before we put our spin on it. So you make you do what I want you to do.
Wow. That's good.
Come from among them. Jesus hung out with all of them. All of them. They had everything. I mean, his boy, Peter. Most of us want to be like Jesus, but we were like Peter. Peter cussed, out there fighting.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Peter was body.
Peter was body. That was Jesus' boy.
Yeah.
That's my boy. Peter said, if you're going to get to him, you got to come through me. See, I like John. John is a little worshiper. He's out there, he's worshiping, putting his head on Jesus' breast, and he's crying and all that. Yeah, that's good. I like John. I got John in my church. I need Peter, too. I need my thug Christians. Say, you know what? I wish you would. I swear for God.
One more step.
We'll do it again. And Jesus says, Peter, stop all that. Put the man back. Stop all that. I need that in my church.
You need that, Bishop?
Yeah, I need that in my church. I need it. 'Cause we do crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I don't need you fighting in the barbershop for me either. Let them say what they want.
Right.
Most of our church grew most when people were trying to figure out, okay, let me go see what's happening.
What's going on?
And then now they've been there 20 years. Because it ain't nothing what they say it is. Most people are talking, they've never been. You can't judge me on a 2-minute clip or 1-by-1 picture.
Yeah. You're right about that.
Yeah.
So listen, guys. Here is the time. We have this segment, Pastor, and it's called Truth or Tell.
Truth or Tell.
Well, we spill tea.
All right.
More tea.
More tea.
And nothing but the tea.
Nothing but the tea.
So we had a few questions came in.
All right.
And the questions were like, okay, so I'm not going to put these people's name on it because I don't want nobody to know
all right.
that that's what they asking.
All right. No
but
problem.
they want to know, Bishop.
Let's see. I get the pick.
Yep. Right. Get you a question out there.
All right. I'm reading it. You reading?
You reading it.
I'm reading the question. Why at funerals the preacher always said the dead person is going to heaven? Really? I got such a different view on this funeral thing.
Okay, tell us. We want to hear your view.
Now, I ain't got much Bible on it yet, but all I know is something about these funerals I don't think we're doing right.
Okay.
And I ain't figured it out yet. But first of all, and again, I haven't done all my work on it, but it's something to the fact Jesus said, let the dead bury the dead. That's the first thing.
Okay.
Now for mine, I don't want no funeral.
Okay.
No, I want y'all within 24 hours, be like the Jews, put me in the ground.
Okay.
And you was gonna spend what, $500 to come here by the time you flew in and get a hotel and all that. You know, take $250 and send it to my kids.
Okay.
All right, keep the rest of the money. I'm good. And then secondly, see, funerals. Funerals in the black church are normally the biggest crowd the preacher has.
Yes.
So I'm going to preach because it's recruiting time.
Yeah.
But I don't preach at funerals. Because I don't even do the eulogy. I could not do your eulogy.
Why not?
Because the word eulogy means to speak well of. I don't know you as well.
Gotcha.
The word eulogy means to speak well of. Your husband will do a part of your eulogy. Your friend does a part. When I'm at the funeral, I learn so much about people because I let like 4 or 5 people get up and talk about the person a little bit, make me laugh a little bit. One of the funerals I went to, and I was listening to them talk about the grandmother who raised my member. I say, now I know why you act like that. You got it from your grandmother. So, you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not gonna get into the whole idea about heaven and hell. That's a whole other segment. But we don't know who gonna get in nothing and what, because you ain't the person at the gate. You know what I'm saying? I decide whether or not you gonna come in my house.
Yeah.
Right? You ain't just bust up in there. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the whole idea of who's getting in and who ain't. I don't know. I don't know. My job is to minister to the family.
Yeah.
You know, and at the end of the day, who's really listening to me at a funeral and my mama's at the altar?
At the altar.
You know what I'm saying? So the family gonna make you laugh, and you know, and I pray and sing and have a little encouraging short, you know, but a sermon, it's just I don't know.
You don't know. Yeah, because I'm like, I figured maybe funerals were supposed to be for the living. So, you know, the dead is dead and gone. It's a celebration. But I'm preaching and ministering to those of you who are living that you get yourself together and.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know yet. Figure it out. Because I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I couldn't do the cameraman's eulogy.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I don't know him. But his sister's cousin could say, yeah, he liked red beans and he made me laugh, you know. So.
Yeah. I'll take that one.
Take
So look, you got another one.
I got more. We gonna be doing all of them?
I don't know.
I don't know. Let's see. Is speaking in tongues a requirement? No. No, when you save, you save. You're going, you know. No, speaking in tongues is like, you know, speaking in tongues. First of all, it's like cable versus basic TV. It's extra.
Because cable is better.
Cable you get a little bit more.
Get a little bit more.
Yeah, but do you have to speak in tongues? Not at all. A requirement for salvation, I guess that's what they're asking. No. No. And everybody, I was going to say reach that level because that puts it on like it's better. But I don't know if it's even better. It's just personal preference. Personal preference. There has to be a language that I speak that only God knows.
That God knows.
The only God I'm not even talking to you. You know, so requirement, no.
Okay, because that's what I was thinking of, because I, tongues talking.
Yeah, me too.
Just, I heard you.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Bishop.
Yeah, tongue talking and can't hardly speak to each other in English.
And come on.
What are the 3 things that warrant a divorce? This is a good question.
Okay.
This is a good question. Very good question. 3 things that warrant a divorce. First of all, when God designed the whole idea of marriage, He meant for us to be together forever.
Okay.
He meant us to be together forever. But then, later on, when we start cutting up, He said, okay, I'm going to give you some ways out. Okay? Number 1, adultery.
Okay.
I ain't talking about I heard. I'm talking about I know.
I know.
Okay? You have a right to get out. I'm not saying you have to get out. Okay? You have a right to get out on adultery. Abandonment. Okay? Somebody just wake up. I got people in my church, one day he just left. That's what happened to Fran. Fran daddy just got up and just left and moved around the corner with the woman, in the same neighborhood.
Oh, wow.
And he had to pass the house every day.
Oh.
Okay? And abuse. Physical, mental, emotional abuse, or the abuse of a child. You can get out for those reasons and get married again.
Okay.
Okay? So you can get, there's a lot of great reasons, but adultery, hands-on, I know, I ain't talking about my girlfriend sent me, girl, I saw him at the movie with your girl. No.
That proof.
Abandonment and abuse, mental, physical abuse, or abuse of a child. That's the Bible.
That's Bible. Good. Let's see. We probably could go for another one, huh, Bishop?
Well, let's see. I'll probably do what I'm told, whatever you tell us. What's your take on submission? Yeah, the Bible says it's mutual submission. See, we beat y'all with that one.
Oh yeah, y'all beat
Y'all
us with
submit to
that.
them.
Y'all beat us with that one.
But it's don't start. Don't let the show get you in no trouble. Don't let the show get you in no trouble. The Bible talks about mutual submission, which basically means you submit to my strength, but also submit to yours. Okay? And marriage is a partnership. It's like a business. We don't want to talk about this side of it, but you can't make a decision without your partner.
Yeah.
All right? We in partnership together. So we all submit to each other. And there's no rules. Everybody's house is different. I do all the cooking in my house, primarily, And there's no, you do the dishes and you do, no, the dishes need to be washed. Whoever get the dishes, you're going to get the dishes, right? But no, it's submission to each other. That's what the book of Ephesians, I believe, talks about. It's not just one side like we did, like we've been whipping y'all with.
Because people think all the time that submission is, okay, well, I run your water, I cook your food, I do all those things, but there's a more deeper side of, what submission is, as far as, like, even just what I'm concerned. I know I ain't trying to get in trouble on the show, guys.
No, don't get in trouble on the show.
I ain't getting in trouble, Bishop. No, I ain't getting in trouble. We're going to do one more. I'm trying to get all y'all questions, but I don't want to keep Bishop too long.
No, I'm good. We ain't got but 3 more. Let's see. How come after people become saved and holy, sex gets boring? I don't do. It ain't everybody. Not all of us. It can get, this can be an age question, because the older you get, see, men and women, we're on opposite trajectories. Like at 40, like men be on their way down and women be on their way up. And but I don't think it's after you get saved thing, because the Bible said the bed is undefiled. You can do anything that the person agrees with. Anything. I talk about David. David was a freak.
Come on.
Solomon was a freak.
Yes.
David was in the club saying, I'm a flirt. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't everybody. Solomon had what, 600 wives and 300 dimes?
Dimes, huh?
You know what I'm saying?
Some dimes. He had some dimes.
He had some dimes. So it wasn't bad for him. Yeah. But church people really are the truth of the matter is, we're the sexiest people out there. Because intimacy, spiritually and physically, are all the same. The outer court is the body, the inner court is the mind, the holies of holies is the created part of the person's body. Like the holies of holies, that special place where that explosion happens, it's moisture in there and there's no windows. Because the moisture is created from the inside.
Oh.
Right? Yeah, so you're supposed to, when you get saved and all that, and you married, you just get freedom? What?
Yeah. Come on. Come on. Okay, Bishop. One more.
Last one. Let's see what my people are talking about. Thank you for tolerating my little snot rag. That's what it is. As a Christian, how can I spice up my sex life with my husband? Okay. See, this as a Christian part is the part I got a little challenge with. Because there's no difference between sex with a Christian and not. Okay, you married? Okay, good. You're legal. All right? So, the question could be, how can I spice up my sex life? First of all, it comes to a lot of communication. You got to talk about this, especially if there's a challenge. You got to be open and willing to talk about it. And as we mentioned earlier, anything goes.
Yeah.
In the bed, as long as the other person agrees. All right? I don't need you getting all excited because you just saw a little movie and want to come try it on me without you talking about that. That hurt. It don't need to hurt. All right? So, yeah, so just you got to talk about it. About everything. You got to talk about everything. And you have to get some education. And everything in life, even in the Bible, is education. The Bible teaches you everything, even when it comes to sex. Like when Solomon talked about sex, he called a woman's release nectar. When nectar comes from a fruit. And the more fruit you eat, the more pleasing you're going to be to your partner. Because number one, fruit gives you energy.
Okay.
Number one, whatever you eat is what you release. That's why married people don't eat asparagus. Not for married people.
Married people don't eat asparagus?
No. Don't eat asparagus. Don't do that if you're married. Be married because it releases a pungent odor.
Gotcha.
All right. I don't need I need nectar.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
I want to worship you, my wife, with the fruit of my lips. Okay. So it's my name is Love. So if I can't talk about nothing,
you can talk about love.
Yeah. I can talk about nothing.
And so my husband wanted me to ask you a question.
Yeah.
And he wanted to know if you had an encounter with Jesus in the flesh, what would you ask him? If you could ask him anything, if you can ask him, or whatever the case may be, how would that be? How would that go?
What would that question be? If I had an encounter with Jesus, so we've been taught to be enamored with the person of Christ, with the flesh and blood person. And I'm not going to dispute it, okay? But what we really should be more enamored with are the principles. How did he live? How did he think? So it was the way he thought that allowed him to be who he is. Right? So it's his mindset, it's his consciousness. So I would probably ask him something about how does he think about a certain thing? Because what I really want is the mind of Christ.
Yeah.
Okay? Like the other people that have a high level of Christ's mindfulness or consciousness. All right? Like Buddha. I don't worship Buddha because I'm not a Buddhist.
Right.
Okay? But evidently, for him to do the things that he did, he had to have a certain mindset. Jesus has it at the most ultimate level that we know of. But back then, there were a lot of guys healing people. There were a lot of guys doing a lot of things that he did. He was the only one that was because he was the one from the Old Testament to the New that we've been talking about. We've been coming. We've been waiting to see who's this guy that thinks at this level.
Yeah.
Okay? That can endure the physical abuse of a crucifixion. Because they were the meanest and most he went to the meanest and most hateful people that ever lived.
Yeah.
The Romans? The Romans knew how to there's a certain level, any doctor will tell you, there's a certain level of pain where you just pass out.
Yeah.
You can just pass out from the pain. And that's a lot of pain.
Yeah.
And they knew how to walk that line.
Yeah.
To put you just in enough pain where you feel like you want to die, your heart beat, but you don't pass out.
Yeah.
And he goes to those people and he loves them anyway.
Yeah.
kind to these people.
Yeah.
And because of that, he was able to resurrect. Oh man, I want to see, how were you able to do that? What did you do to get you to that place?
To that place.
How did you become more aware of the God that is in you to allow you to do that?
Yeah.
I would probably ask him something like that. How would you,
Yeah.
the way you think. The way you think. Not what you did. Because if I can figure out how you think, I can do what you did.
Yeah.
And you told me greater works what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real good.
Yeah.
That's real good. Thank you so much, Bishop,
No,
for
it's really
coming
blessed.
and kicking it with me on the
You
couch.
are a very, very good host. I host a radio show at WBOK. I host the Essence Festival. I host a lot. You are a very good host.
Thank you.
Very good at what you do. I mean, for real. The questions, the preparation, the professionalism, the anointing of God that's in the room, the means by which you put all this together, very, very good. And even for you, I know you heard it before, eyes haven't seen, neither have ears heard the thing that God has prepared for you. Trust me, you're going to be a major mover and shaker in the kingdom of God.
Thank you, Bishop. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. And Pastor Frank sends her love too.
Oh, that's my honey.
Yeah, and mine too.
Okay, yeah, that's your honey, you know, but
That's your girl.
That's my girl.
Yeah.
That's my girl. Bishop, tell the people, so like you said, you have a radio station. I know you have like t-shirts, there's, different things. Tell the people, how they can listen for you, where your service time.
Just hit us on the gram, hit us on the gram.
He likes the gram.
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, Periscope. We do the show every weekday at 6 o'clock a.m. for 1 hour. And it's really about, empowering people, inspiring people, motivating people, teaching people how to live their best life. And teach them really at the end of the day how to imagine better.
Come on.
Yeah, we want people to
Imagine better.
Because if you can imagine it, you can have it.
Yeah. Before I forget, I was about to forget. So I started this movement, Purpose on Purpose, so that not only women, but because I deal mostly with women, to understand that they were called to something greater and something higher than themselves. That even in the midst of going through situations with the husband, even in the midst of bad days, even in the midst of all those different things, that they still have to push through and, do their purpose, because there are so many souls and so many different things that's locked up in their loins.
Yeah.
But there are so many people who don't even know what their purpose are, who don't know, what it is that they're supposed to be doing. Can you help some people with purpose and just understanding purpose and,
Many times I think if we make it easier for people to understand, first of all, your purpose is locked in your daily habits. Okay? Now, I know we talk for a long time, in order to be successful, to be blessed, and to get paid and all that, it's a big leap of faith, And I get it. But no, I got big faith, but I take small steps.
Yeah.
And many times it's locked up in simple things like what you'll do for free. What you'll do for free is a sign of your destiny.
Yeah.
Okay? Michael Jordan is retiring, right? He's retiring from basketball, probably the world's greatest basketball player that ever lived. And his retirement speech, after all the endorsements and the Nike and the multi-billion dollars and all the things that he'd done, he said, "Did I ask me? I did it for free."
Yeah.
All right? Because what you do for free is a sign of your destiny. And then you other people around you that love you, they will be your witness. Like if you can make cookies, all right, your girlfriend say, if they talking to the right person and you can't speak for yourself, they said, "This girl can make some cookies."
Yeah.
Talk to people around you, ask them, "What do you think I do well?" Because what you do well is your mission.
Yeah.
All right, love, live, and inspire. What you do well is your mission. So it's free. It's
What you do well.
What you do well, you get other people to do it, and at the end of the day, it's tapping in to the God that is in you. If I were to ask the average person, "Where's God?" they'll point to the sky.
Yeah.
Jesus said the kingdom of God is within you. Just, I live in this body. It's not, it's the Spirit of God. And once you tap into that, it has nothing to do with education. Like Rachel Ray didn't go to culinary school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It has everything to do with your daily habits. What you do every day. Little things, not one big thing, little things will transform your life forever.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Bishop, because we need more people walking in their purpose.
Absolutely.
So your daily habits, and all those different things matter. Thank you so much again for coming on the show.
Glad to be here.
Y'all go follow Bishop at Lester Love on Instagram. Okay, go holler at him. You don't have a Facebook because I always try to type you in on Facebook and you never come up.
We have two. We have Lester Love and the Lester Love Show. Oh, and on Lester Love, I think I got too many followers.
Oh, that's what it is. Because I always, Pastor Fran always come up, but
right now, you know, they write the algorithms. You're only seeing 7% of the stuff that people post, and the more people you follow, the less stuff you see that they post. You know,
gotcha.
So you know, it's good, but we use it badly. You know, social media is for information and inspiration. It's for information of what I do and inspire you to come see more of what I do.
Yeah,
it's marketing.
Yeah.
You know, some of the personal stuff is okay, but it's really to let you know how can you get more of what I do.
On my service, yeah. Okay, guys, so thank you guys so much for tuning into Couch Conversations with Shatara. I appreciate it, guys, and until next time,